Hey, Heights Church, what's going on? My name is Bronson Aalgaard, and I am the JHM pastor here, and I'm bringing you today's Devo. So what are we talking about? Well, our thread this week has been God's wisdom teaches me. And today, we're going to be talking about how God's wisdom teaches me humility. I think one of the main parts about being taught something is understanding that we don't actually quite understand it yet. Someone's teaching me it, the act of learning. So how can I learn to have humility? Well, I think there's plenty of times in the Bible that talks about how to navigate our life so that we are people who have humility. Now, there's a certain scripture in the Bible in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 7, where it talks about how we can navigate this life in order to be people who have humility. Let's check it out real quick. Proverbs 3:7 says this: "Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil." Now, I think these are very, very clear indicators on how to navigate this life as a person with humility. It says here clearly, don't be impressed with your ideas. How do we live a life of humility? Well, we aren't impressed by our own ideas. When we have a great idea, we're not over here saying, "You're welcome. That was me. That was my idea." If something like this whole thing never would have happened without my ideas. I mean, just saying that sounds like a person with pride. So if these are the thoughts you may be having, you may want to pray through those or think about those. Does that sound like someone who has humility? Because God's wisdom teaches us humility. So we can oftentimes navigate our life and our decisions by not being prideful or impressed by our own actions. Maybe you're someone who feels like that's you. You're oftentimes impressed by your own actions. Well, let me encourage you with this. Your thoughts and your ideas are actually from God. Maybe to have more humility is actually recognizing where these thoughts and ideas are coming from. Saying, "God, this was ultimately your idea. And I'm so thankful for that." That takes the spotlight off of you or me and gives it to where it needs to be, on God, giving him glory. And then the second part of that verse, it says, "Instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil." I think this is another tip of how to navigate away from being people who are prideful or arrogant. It says, turn away from evil. Maybe evil things lead us to having more pride or more arrogance or lifting ourselves sometimes even higher than God himself. I know that there have been times in my life where I felt like my word or my thoughts were higher than God's or my decisions. That was a clear indicator that I was pretty prideful. And I think God is trying to help us right here in this passage, encourage us on how to navigate this life on having humility. God's wisdom teaches me humility. I hope this has been an encouragement to you, and I love how we're continuously doing these daily devotions. And my prayer is that each time we do this, you're hearing God for yourself. We'll see you later.